Hello, everyone. I am Francesco Borri. I'm the Executive Director and President of the jury at Film Only Film Festival. And this is our fifth edition. I know that we have a hybrid model, but the film festival is always incredibly important for me. The short clips you have just seen opening this festival were recorded by the Lumiere brothers in 1895. In fact, cinema is now almost 130 years old as of next year. And also here in the background, as you can see, is the cinematograph, the first device that recorded and projected films, which the Lumiere brothers commercialized as the first projected paid screening of cinemas in the world. Because I'm currently based in Canada, I would like to start off by reading out a quick land acknowledgement. As a film festival, even though we are hybrid, we are currently based in Canada, and would like to acknowledge that we sit on the ancestral territories of the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Anishinaabe Nation, which includes the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation since time immemorial to today. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge all of the filmmakers around the world, some of them young, some of them independent, underrepresented, who make films continuously despite any issues they might have, accessibility, politics, and so forth. It's not easy to make a film, and all those who pursue and have an end result to showcase, I applaud you. And this film festival thrives thanks to any filmmakers who manage to achieve their reality and submit their films to us. So this is partly a film festival and showcase for you. Thank you. I would like to quickly remind folks why this film is called Film Only Film Festival. Firstly, it reflects the deep respect of the celluloid medium. In fact, we have a couple of films that were submitted on celluloid to the festival. Secondly, only reflects the ironic humility masked behind the extreme efforts, especially for the underprivileged filmmakers, to make a film. The Leviathan effort sometimes only results in a film, but the only part of it is a real understatement to the true efforts that passion relays in the medium. So I like to put a bit of irony, a bit of humility, and a bit of metaphoric uses of language into what is only a film festival, and yet a film festival is a medium to showcase unique stories from around the world, again, around the world to other filmmakers and audiences alike. So very quickly, I'm going to explain why the format of the film festival is this way, hybrid, but especially this time pre-recorded and online. So we've had 5 editions, including this one, 2 of which were live in person. One of them was the very first one in London, England, and subsequently another one in Toronto, Canada. And I realized that it's very difficult to be inclusive with consideration to all the filmmakers, all the countries, all the time zones. For this year's film festival, we received over 40 submissions, which is wonderful. Of those 40 submissions, 16 are the official selections. As you all know, every single submission will receive their written review. The official selections and the award winners will receive their video reviews that will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. One of the things that makes Film Only Film Festival rather special, to me at least, is the fact that considering the underrepresented communities of filmmakers out there, we focus on several categories that are more meaningful to us. For this 5th edition, we have received fantastic submissions to the sanction category, the abilities category, the celluloid category, the indigenous category. So those are the ones that we'll be featuring first and foremost. So today I will be presenting either the films that the filmmakers were happy to have live on YouTube or those with the trailer. I also would like to introduce those that are not screening. They're equally deserving, and I completely understand the filmmakers' choices in those cases. So the official selection is as follows. Where is Raphael? By Mariana Azcarate from Mexico.
¿Conoces a este señor?
No.
¿Le conoces? Violeta, ven a ayudarme. Me vas a contar cuántos palillos y cuántos lapiceros hay aquí. Me vas a hacer la cuenta, me los pones acá todos. ¿Y dónde está tu hermana?
Mi hermana está en el baño.
Bueno, voy a ir con el señor de los chocolates para ver cuánto cacao me va a dar. Y por favor me sacas la cuenta. Y ponte lista con tu hermana.
Implosions by Lisa Z. Sherman from the USA.
You know the question, how are you? Well, I never know how to answer it.
Hey Film Only Film, I am Lisa Sherman and I'm the director of Implosions. Implosions is a short film about Lou. She's a young teen. You know, she has the potential, but she's struggling to fulfill her responsibilities and complete tasks to the best of her abilities. This really just was the story I really wanted to do. It was for a student film, my thesis project, and this was the idea I felt strongly about because it was something I felt really connected to with myself, but also I really wanted to do something that that challenged me creatively and also challenged my skill set. And with the film now done, I really feel like we accomplished that, so that's been great. To make it the story I wanted Implosions to be, one of those challenges was a spectacle. I had many ideas of what I wanted to do with this film. I knew from the beginning I wanted to do something special and just push myself. Even though this was a student film, I really wanted to go above and beyond. So is figuring out, should we do 3D? Should we be using visual effects? What ended up coming up, and also thanks to faculty and friends who helped make it happen, we have really cool rotoscope animation that was a lot to do, but I'm really thankful and excited and proud still that we were able to pull it off with what we had. What I hope people take away from Implosions is you can help yourself. I know for me, sometimes I think of the phrase, you are your own worst enemy. And that's helpful to an extent, but for some people it's to a detriment. And in some ways it feels like a confirmation that you will always be hurting yourself, you will always be stuck. What I hope Implosions does is remind you that you are not just your enemy, you're your greatest hero, and that you do have agency in yourself. Remembering that you do have your own agency, that you have your own will, is empowering and it's healing. With that, on behalf of the cast, crew, and everyone who's pitched in and made this story a reality, we hope you enjoy Implosions. Thank you.
Hatukwatsi, Water is Life by David Wallace, USA.
The Little Colorado. Patuakatsi, water is life. It means that every drop of water is precious. To live there for the last 1,000 years, the people have been 100% dependent upon the answer to their prayers for rain. So when people say water is life, it's literally how people live and have lived.
The Tenebris by Conor McClellan from Canada.
Did you get scared?
Yeah.
Here, I have the matching one. My dad and I used something like these when I was a kid, when I was a monster hunter. When I got too scared, he was on the other end, ready to fight any monster. If you ever get too scared, I'll have my walkie on me at all times, on my way to help.
Thanks, Dad.
There's only one rule out there. Keep it on, keep it close, Captain.
Goat by Riza Mizrahi, Iran.
Heç kəs yox gəlsin aparam. Yollar hamısı bağlıdır. Özüm sağ aparırım.
Yox əzizim, istəməz. Qoy yollar açıldı, sonra aparırıq.
Şahid yollar hələ açılmadı.
Əcəli yoxdur kim balam.
Ey baba, elə hamımız əcələ yox. Mənim əcələ varım.
Mən kim icazə verməm.
سلام، بنده رضا میرزایی هستم، کارگردان فیلم بز. این فیلم در یکی از روستاهای دور افتاده استان زنجان فیلم برداری شد. به مدت 4 روز ما 25 تا عوامل بودیم. صبح ساعت 6 آفیش میزدیم تا شب ساعت 8 اینا. فیلم سختی بود، با محدودیت هایی روبرو بودیم. مسیرامون واقعا صعب العبور بود. ما 2 تا قاطر یا الاغ داشتیم که عوامل مخصوصا خانوما منشی صحنه و گیریم و فلان با اونا جابجا می شدن. سخت بود، واقعا فیلم سختی بود، اما بچه ها با عشق کار میکردن و این باعث شده بود که ما لذت ببریم از این کار و خدا رو شکر خروجی خوبی هم گرفتیم از فیلم. با تشکر.
Falgush by Sogol Izzatfar, Iran.
بابا بیا اینار ورده 10 بار گفتیم این عکس ایناره.
سلام.
فقط خور بسه. باید کو. اینار ورده.
Hey. Illusionist by Amir Hossein Al-Jalli, Iran.
با ما قایم موشک بازی در نیار. بیا بیرون بینم. بیا وایسا اونجا بینم. وایسا اونجا. چرا زور زدی؟ برگرد بینم. برگرد میزنم.
شیر مادرت کاری نکن. غلط کردم. هر کاری بگی میکنم.
آره گرخیدی داری زرت و پرت میکنی میزنم.
خدا صداتو بیار پایین همسایا نشنم.
چیه ترسیدی؟ مگه تو اومدی دوزی اینجا ها؟
دوستی نه من ببین نه اون کیف منه. من یه دونه خودکارم ور نداشتم. خالی
مخوری میزنم.
باشه. ای خدا چه غلطی کردم اومدم توی خونه پام بشکنم.
پس تو اومدی اینجا دوزی آره؟ ها؟
داری شوخی میکنی؟
چیو؟
مگه شما هم دوستی؟
به قیافه من میخوری یه همچین خونه ای داشته باشم؟ کدوم صاحب خونه رو دیدی روی دو تیزی بکشه؟ بیا.
نه من آخه یه صدایی توی حیاط شنیدم مغزم قفل کرد پریدم.
Toku Wayata, My Song by Millie Gillard, New Zealand.
For millennia, Ranginui was an ensemble of feathers and song, with Papatuanuku, a chorus below. Almost all the footsteps to fall amongst Papa's forested floors were manu, winged creatures, bats, bugs and birds. Up in Rangi's arms where wind-born Manu soared, filling his skies with our squawking waiata. And amongst us, giants flew. Haast's eagle, another bird of many names, Poakai, Hokioi, the old glutton, with a wingspan of 3 meters long. Isles Harrier, Kerangi, graceful despite her size, at 1 meter tall, the largest harrier in the world. And then there's me, Karearea, New Zealand's only falcon. I'm tiny compared to my gigantic neighbours. I only carry 3% of Haast's weight. But for what I lack in size, I make up for in ferocity. I'm the fastest manu by far, diving it up to 200 kilometers per hour.
Sometimes I hear the light leak through the corners of my room by Jeremiah M. Carter, USA. Extinguish the flares and light up life. Ángel Hernández, Spain.
El Estado ecuatoriano importa gas. Gasta más de 600 millones de dólares importando gas. Sin embargo, aquí en la Amazonía, en los mecheros, se quema por lo menos el doble del gas que requiere todo el país.
Usted lo siente. ¿Cómo vivimos acá, en la Amazonía? Si no nos contaminan por agua, por el aire también nos contaminan.
La gente que está cerca de los mecheros o la industria petrolera tienen más casos de cáncer que la gente que está distante. Vive en una pobreza mucho más grande que la gente que está distante de eso. Se puede extraer petróleo sin usar mecheros. Hay una sentencia condenatoria en firme que le obliga al Estado ecuatoriano a eliminar los mecheros y a no permitir que se autorice a ninguna empresa más usar mecheros. Tiene el Estado la obligación de cumplirlo.
Last Memory of Spring by Samuel Mitchell, USA. All Aboard by Wayne Winterstein, USA.
Due to my numerous unpaid traffic tickets, I had a warrant out for my arrest. I was also assigned 112 hours of community service, which must be completed in 14 days. Jack was one of the 2 train attendants entrusted with marking down hours on our timesheets. But of course, Jack would always keep a watchful eye on us.
Hi, this is Wayne Winterstein, and these are the answers to the questions. Please share why you decided to make your film at this moment in time. I always loved and still love the look of film. I originally shot this short way back in 1998 for a college film class. It was one of the few classes around that gave you access to a Bolex 16mm film camera. And I just completed community service at a train station for a regrettable event, and I wanted to make a film based on my experiences there. Anyway, this is shot way before editing on a computer was common, and linear editing by hand was extremely tedious at that time, so I never got around to finish editing it. So around 20 years later, in 2019, I finally digitized all the footage, and I was able to edit it on a computer. What was the biggest challenge you faced while making this film? How was it overcome? The biggest challenge I faced was that I naively, or stupidly, didn't have anyone else help me on the production side. So every time I had to load a new film cartridge, I just remember sitting in my car sweating profusely with the blanket over my head. I ended up having a lot of light leaks when I was loading and removing film. I even had the camera fall on my head once when I forgot to lock down the tripod. Luckily the camera didn't break, but some of the parts were a lot looser afterwards. I overcame it all by just pushing through. I recall a few times I felt like quitting, but one of my classmates told me a great quote about I'd rather be a loser than a quitter, so I stuck to that mantra. What are you most proud of in your film? I'm most proud of the fact that, for the most part, the film was in focus and it wasn't too over or underexposed. I really felt like I was winging it, especially when it came to using the light meter. I was even able to get in a rack focus shot in there, even though it's not really noticeable. I'm also very proud that despite having at least 2 to 3, maybe even more rolls of film ruined due to those light leaks, the finished product actually told the story I was aiming to tell. I'm sure it obviously would have been better had I had all the footage to edit with, but I'm still happy I had enough footage to tell the complete story. What is one thing you'd like your audience to take away from your film? I really hope people appreciate the difficulty and beauty between something shot on film versus digital. With digital cameras, it's a lot easier to keep focus and have correct exposure. Also with digital, you can immediately rewatch what you shot, whereas with film, you don't know what you have until it's developed. But the look of film can't be beat. I love the grain and texture of film, and if I had the means and the moxie, I would definitely shoot on film again.
Ukraine Invalid by Florian Gleitsch, Germany.
Ich unterrichte Deutsch hier in meiner Schule in Malatenzi. Vor 30 Jahren habe ich dieselbe Schule beendet und ich arbeite hier schon mehr als 25 Jahre. Die Schüler in unserer Schule sind sehr verschieden. Hier lernen wie Jungen, auch Mädchen, alle zusammen. Und es gibt auch Kinder mit Behinderungen. Ja, einige von ihnen sind sie lernen zu Hause sozusagen und die anderen gehen zur Schule. Meine Tochter Nadia, die wird im September dieses Jahres zur Schule gehen. Sie ist auch ein behindertes Kind und sie wird in der Schule lernen. Sie wird inklusiv lernen. Das heißt, sie wird in der Schule mit den anderen Schülern zusammen, aber sie wird eine individuelle sozusagen Helferin haben, die ihr helfen wird, alles Nötige zu verstehen und zu lernen.
Paddle Tribal Waters by Robert Paul Wolfe Wilson and Rush Sturgis, USA.
Rivers and waterways are life. I live right beneath Crater Lake. That's Giwas, that's our sacred place. That's where our medicine people would go to pray. And these rivers, marshes, creeks, they sustain all life for us. Without them, life goes away. My name is Paul Robert Wolf Wilson. I'm a Klamath and Modoc tribal member, and I'm chief storyteller for Rios Rivers. When I look at the outdoor recreational community, I don't see that many people that look like myself. And I understand why. Because we've been systemically removed from our lands. And so outdoor recreation is a radical idea. Paddle Tribal Waters was born out of the idea that there weren't enough indigenous whitewater paddlers. Paddle Tribal Waters offers developed curriculum specialized for beginning paddlers, while also getting them access to advocacy trainings and storytelling roles. We are working to inspire the next generation of river stewards. And when you're looking for the best stewards, the best spokespeople that are engaged with their rivers at young ages, you typically find that those are Indigenous youth.
Ancora by William Marty Carest-Levele, Canada. And Treadsetters by Louis Arevalo, USA.
It's a big thing, you know, to be told you're going to suddenly lose your leg. Plan your life and you have a direction that you're going in, and then I end up being an amputee and there's no more go, go, go. It was just stop dead and I had to completely reinvent myself.
Growing up in Ohio, I knew that I was a little bit different from everyone else, but I didn't know how different I was until I started going to a prosthetist. That's when I think it started to click.
In high school, somebody had actually said to me, "Oh, you're never going to be able to do anything with your hands. The key aspect of golf is how you hold it." And I was like, well, I'll show them.
I knew mountain biking was a thing for me as soon as I started. July 17, 2021, I was involved in a horrible mountain biking accident. I knew pretty much instantly that I was paralyzed, but mountain biking and getting back on the bike has really been what's getting me through this past year.
Hi, my name is Louis Arevalo, and I am the director of the documentary Treadsetters. I was really excited to be a part of this documentary for a couple reasons. One, it prominently features 4 people living with physical disabilities and 4 athletic people living with disabilities. 2, I myself am a person with a disability, and so I jumped at the chance to have not only the people in front of the lens have disabilities, but the person behind, and bring that unique perspective and understanding to the whole project. One of the biggest challenges that we faced was basically just the logistics, like how do we cover this with a limited budget? How do we get the coverage that we need, and and make a story that continues, that moves on and on and on. I think we had to be a little bit creative and realize that, yeah, we couldn't get every shot that we wanted to. We didn't have time to set up, you know, drawn out shots while they're doing on this adventure. But yeah, we somehow brought it together. You know, we made it work. And I think you'll see when you watch this, like, how that was done. I'm most proud that we didn't fall into the trap of tropes and stereotypes in this film. And it's not just one person against the world. I think that's really common in the media, especially around disability, as somebody overcoming, and it's just the one person or a few people against the rest. Our film really kind of highlights that it takes a village of support to get things done, and I think we can all identify with that. We realize, like, the longer you live, the more you realize it's the people around you that elevate you. I would love the viewers to go away from this film realizing that we can approach different things, or we can approach things from different angles, you know, and as long as we're not hurting anybody or anything, like, we should be allowed to do that, and there should be an understanding and a compassion around that. Thank you.
And now for that moment at the end of the festival. I find it very difficult to prioritize and select favorites or winners as such. However, there are a few films that stood out to me and my fellow judges, and we just feel that they deserve a little higher recognition amongst the crowd. Favorite alternative abilities film? Україна Invalid.
Де кожну передачу ми скільки йде машина. І я пам'ятаю тільки чорну картинку, темноту в очах, свист резини і реанімація.
Favorite inspiring documentary? Treadsetters.
The White Rim is probably one of the most exciting and spectacular areas that bikers want to do, but this could be dangerous.
The White Rim Trail is very unique because you start going down and then you end up going up. You have to be prepared, because if you just look at it and, like, look at the profile, look at the mileage, even look at pictures out there, you still have no idea what you're gonna encounter.
Favorite climate justice film? Extinguish the Flares and Light Up Life.
¿Quién conoce un colchón de agua? ¿Sí? Las taparon, les echaron tierra encima y el petróleo está debajo. Estaban siempre dirigidos hacia ríos, lagunas, para que sean ellos los encargados de llevarse todos los tóxicos que salen de aquí de la piscina.
Favorite sanctioned film? Goat. Favorite short film? Where is Raphael?
Mi mamá, pero a veces viene y a veces no. Oye, una pregunta. ¿Tú conoces a este señor? No. ¿Quién es? No te puedo decir, es un secreto. Tengo una idea. ¿Qué te parece si intercambiamos secretos? Sí.
And for this year's overall favorite, we have decided to choose the film Extinguish the Flares and Light Up Life. A lot of people around the world know that the Amazon is facing incredible challenges when it comes to oil and the extraction of oil and commercial enterprises. It's not easy to speak up for such things, and what this film does is not only it speaks up for a people, for a community, it speaks up for all activism when it comes to climate justice, when it comes to people and human rights justice, when it comes up to speaking up for anything and setting a voice to make a difference, to make change for good. It speaks for Indigenous peoples, and it speaks for non-Indigenous peoples who need to learn about exploitations that happen to people around this world who suffer too often in silence. I just found this a really powerful, poignant film, a film that I have watched multiple times, and I will forever be grateful for, and I'll recommend more and more and more. So I think it is worthy of having the overall festival prize for 2024. Thank you very much to all of the filmmakers who participated and submitted throughout the year. You have made 2024 the Film Only Film Festival happen, and we're very proud of what we're able to showcase and the results. As you know, just like in all film crews, one person alone cannot make a film. Same with the film festival.
My name's Navo Chakraborty, and I've been working in media entertainment for the last 6 years, and recently I was fortunate enough to be able to review films for the Film Only Film Festival. It is always a privilege and a joy to be able to witness the work, talent, creative skills, dedication, and commitment of these incredible artists from around the globe, with emerging films that may not get a wider release or films that have been made in adverse conditions. It's always heartening to see how the creative spirit endures and how people still manage to craft something truly beautiful and compelling. It was an absolutely wonderful experience, and I couldn't recommend it more.
It's a real privilege for us to be able to watch your films, even more of a privilege to be able to write comments and send them over to you. The reason why this film festival functions is because we like to acknowledge everyone and appreciate everyone's work. That is, I think, what we've done. As difficult as it was to select favourites, that's the nature of a film festival. So we really hope that the winners are happy and they'll receive their certificates, but we're so grateful for all of those who have submitted to this year's festival, because without you, we wouldn't have anything to showcase. So thank you so much. If you want to send us email with any questions, receive mentorship about your films, about future films, feel free to email the Film Only Film reviews@gmail.com. I'll be happy to consider your questions and get back to you personally. This is a mentorship, this is a journey, and we're here to celebrate film. So thank you very much for participating. Thank you for your work, and good luck with your future.